Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. What's happening? So I just ordered a crap ton load of merch and I have so much. I decided that I was going to take one of the extra large size shirts and turn it into a body dress. Now, I saw a video of this on YouTube and I am hoping that I can do this right. So let's give it a go, okay? So to start, you're gonna want to take the shirt that you're gonna be using. I used an XL, but a double X or a triple X, depending on your size, might do better. It just depends on what you want. You're gonna want to lay this as flat as possible on your workspace. I didn't really have a workspace, so I'm just using the floor. So next, you're gonna want to find a nice dress that you think has a good fit to it, or a bodycon dress, whatever. I use this Fashion Nova dress that I know already fits me well, and you're gonna want to put it over the shirt. Make sure that the collars line up as good as you can get them, and if there's a logo in the middle, which was my most important thing, make sure that will fit in there as well. So next, we're gonna go ahead and start with the cutting. Make sure you leave 1 centimeter to 1 inch of allowance for the seam. I used about an inch, as you can see here. We want to always remember while we are cutting that we continuously allow space for the seam. It will be very important. So we're basically just going to cut out the shape of this entire dress. Make sure to remember to refer back to the dress that already fits you when cutting out the arms. That way you can make sure they're perfect. After cutting the front, we're just going to flip the shirt over, lay it back down flat, and do the same thing. Match up the collars on the dress, and then begin cutting out the shape of the dress. After we have the shape of our dress cut out, we're ready to begin the hardest part, sewing. Actually, if you have a sewing machine, this should be really quick and only take 5 minutes, but I didn't have one, so I'm gonna hand sew it. Just make sure you match up the seams really well and pick a thread that matches. And we're just gonna go in and start sewing up the side seams. To do both sides of this dress by hand, it took me about 2 hours. But if you're like me and you don't have anything better to do, or you're on quarantine, that shouldn't really be a problem for you. So I actually think that despite the fact that I don't know how to sew very well, the seams on this actually turned out pretty good. They're thick, they're not busting out like I thought they would be, and they might not be the straightest in the world, but they're definitely working for me. Hey. I also decided to put a couple slits in the chest area of the front of the dress, which you can find a YouTube tutorial on pretty easily. So you just mark the spots that you want and cut them. After you cut them, you just pull them apart a little bit so that they create this stretching effect, as you can see here, and bang bang, you have some slits for your titties. So these are the final results of my dress, and I'm super happy with it. I think it turned out pretty well. I know the stitching isn't perfectly straight, but with a sewing machine it definitely could be, and I'll post a couple selfies of me in it here. I'm actually super happy with the final results of this. Okay, so I'm wearing the dress, and as you guys can tell, it turned out pretty good. I didn't even stitch up the sides, and I feel like those turned out pretty good. The seams here are super good, and I'm not gonna say that the seams on the side are perfect, but they're definitely not bad. Overall, I would say this is a super duper easy project and I would recommend it, especially if you have like an abundance of large t-shirts, and I know I do. It only takes a few minutes if you have a sewing machine, a couple hours if you don't have a sewing machine, but either way, I would say that this is totally worth doing and I would definitely do this again. This was so much fun. If you guys enjoyed my video, please leave a thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button and come back and join me next time. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day and be nice to each other, everybody.